Hello, Kawans. Welcome back to Immortal Part 3, a high-level D&D campaign with a lot of running around and trying not to let other powerless, innocent people die. I am your mistress of the Overland, and with me today are our friends Ben, Kang, Ida, and Mike. Zekin and Boss get an inspiration from previous session.
Ooh.
In session 3, the gang finally leave the maze and find themselves somewhat separated from each other. Everybody in sort of different places, and they've sort of figured out why towards the end. They had to calm a very panicked Synax, who informed his council that their teleportation circle was compromised and is now destroyed. He does have a contingency plan, right? He was trained, right? Anyway, the gang now find themselves in Topher's shop, Synax just about to leave and Topher looking like he needed time for himself. Does anyone want to have words with Synax before he leaves, or does anyone want to do or say anything before Topher tells you to get the fuck out?
Okay, speaker will look for will pause Sinex and say and ask him if there was a noble girl that was rescued to Haviland
Yes.
and the details thereof.
The bell of the door rings as he opens it, but before he could step out, one leg, one foot
Yeah.
barely floating in midair as he takes a
No,
step
I
back,
think
turns around.
we're still in the basement.
Yeah,
We're still in the basement. He's not leaving that quick.
Were you in the basement?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he does that but with the fridge door. There's no
Yeah.
bell,
So we're
but you
like
hear like the
this
the
guy in
suction
particular.
the suction cup, and he turns back around and he trudges back down the door and he goes,
Because we do
"No."
have like Topher's notes on the wall, right?
Correct, yeah.
And
There's
I
this
remember there was
also,
like a point in the nobles district with the guy and his missing child.
yeah. He looks at you and he goes, "No. We're pretty sure collectively that the noble's kid was um an accidental kidnapping, probably by some other people trying to, you know, since the kids are going missing, might as well, probably."
Right. So that wasn't one of yours.
She
He
didn't end
shakes
up
his head.
in over there.
He shakes his. Why would we want to take care of some random noble's kid?
Hmm.
They give us enough trouble as it is.
Can we go over the list of people, like this list of disappearances and the locations?
Um.
To like which do they take credit for most of them?
Yeah. I imagine you did this in Haviland itself. You actually saw some of the kids, and you were like, okay, this kid was from this area. This kid was from this area.
Okay, okay.
Most
Nice,
of
nice. So we
them were found to be there, especially the little girl that belonged to um the
Christine or something.
Christine. Yeah,
yeah, the one that
she was there as
Speaker was
well.
looking into.
Her
Okay.
mom was not there. Her mom is very likely dead.
Yeah, we
None of
speaker
their
would not have
moms
said that to
were
him.
there, right?
No, none of their parents were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still presumed
And
missing and or dead.
were all the kids accounted for, or just most? Which
Most.
ones weren't?
You would say about 80%. The kids that weren't accounted for is the noble's kid. There are some children that were reported missing by other people who pretty much like scrubs, the kids that you find at the side of the street that you remember because you keep giving them food and they're always there. And then one day they just went
Mhm.
Right.
missing.
Okay, so these street kids that went missing don't have parents that disappeared before them, kind of thing.
Yeah, and speaking to Belil alongside Sinex, Belil has told you, yeah, this was ours, and then Sinex was like, this was not ours, and then Belil's like, oh, it's fine, this was ours.
Ah, okay.
And
Okay.
they're
So
like,
the
oh, that
main
was
one that
you.
stands out,
Starting to become accounted for then.
Yeah.
The noble kid is the odd one out.
Yeah, the noble kid, a
yeah.
bunch of street
So that's the
rats.
main one that stands out as being like, ah, this one is important.
Correct.
Okay. Good, good, good.
He looks at the noble, the name, and he goes, he looks at Topher, and both of them sort of like, look, the guy is not really a good guy. His kid disappears, a lot of us rejoice. When I say us, I mean, the poorer part of the city. He loses a
Okay, so
kid.
he's not an
Still a
enemy of
kid that's
Fat Robert
gone.
that we know
Jeez.
about.
Sorry, what? One by one?
Like
Ida?
he's not he wasn't disappeared because he supports he's not he's not
Resistance
against
supporter.
he's not a resistance person
They shake his
or
head.
resistance
If
empathizer. Okay.
Topher looks at you. If he was, he didn't tell us. And if he was, we could have made, better decisions. But look,
Or
he
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 didn't think
was
that you were all that effective.
maybe we are comfortable, and he was still sucking on the teat of Fat Robert. Even if he
Oh,
was trying to
seemingly
fight
at
for
Ugh.
least.
us, seemingly so.
Hmm.
Look,
I see.
kids die all the time, with disease, with robberies and stuff. We can't save everyone.
Right. Okay. So speaker will pose the next question to Synax is, will you be able to be safe here? And how should we look for you in future?
Sinex takes a pause. Make me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion. Click the correct P thing. What's that? 27.
27. He does take a bit to sort of think about whether or not he should answer this question. And then he goes, I've had training. I'm gonna be honest with you because you're helping and you have only helped. Look, I'm sorry for panicking, but now I have to leave to find the other spot that is safe that we can move people around. But it's not gonna be here. I can't tell you where yet because I'm supposed to receive coordinates. And then there's things that I have to do. And then he pulls out like a satchel full of, random alchemical supplies and he's like, I was trained and now I hope I can do it.
All right.
Okay. So, good to know that contact isn't completely cut off, but yes, don't tell us where it is.
Not
Where should we find
And
you next time?
um I think two of our teams are going to find you once you find out where fire locations are, tower locations are. So we'll
and those
contact you.
teams, are they already this side of Heavyland, or
He
do
shakes
they
his
need
head.
to cross?
Um
And
first
could be dangerous.
first I'm gonna have to redo a circle for them to teleport.
Uh-huh.
You know the teleportation thing, and then he sort of runs back up. Like this doesn't take long enough for you to be like, hey, you're running away. No, he runs up, he closes the door tight, and then he sort of sits himself on a stool because he's gonna tell a story. Basically, he goes, what happened with the falling asleep thing? I still have a bruise on the back of my head from falling. That's never happened before.
Yes.
Speaker will
I guess we can
TLDR the whole
explain.
thing to
Yeah.
him with nothing held back.
It's like, okay, because so we found we examined the head, right? We don't believe that the head was tampered with by anyone while we were away. It was probably something to do with teleporting over from outside her influence.
That that sounds sort of.
Which is why we were asking, has this kind of thing ever happened before? And you were like, no, not to my knowledge.
He shakes his head. He's like, he looks at Topher, and Topher's like,
If
well,
we're lucky, it only happened because of us, because we were there.
I mean,
And
We're rarely that lucky, though.
we
and
could
for some
do
reason, it only happened when we were coming in and not when we were going out.
we could do Occam's razor and pick the most obvious choice, considering we went in, um, I think a bunch of you were talking about sendings not going through and stuff. Perhaps that had something to do with it. There's a barrier and everything.
Yes, there is a barrier for
So
sure.
barrier maybe can't go in, but can take you out when you're out. I don't know. This is a lot of magic
But
that I don't understand.
you guys have used it before and
Oh,
not
well, Topher
had this
puts his
happen.
hand up and he goes, I have never been to Haviland in my life. I didn't know they existed. I thought they died. And then Sinex goes, well, every time we transport kids, nothing bad happens. I have to go back and forth quite often.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It, I am concerned that there might still be some security issues because some of the sendings I tried to send to one of our friends went through but didn't.
I don't get it.
I do want to. I want to raise a question before another question has been asked.
Yep.
Sinex, you are the one that obviously comes and goes the most.
He
Have
nods.
you go back to Haverland and do you use sending the stone or spell otherwise before while you are inside Haverland?
He shakes his head. I have nobody to contact from inside of Haviland. Everybody I know isn't there. And while I'm here, that stone you saw that crumbled into dust, that's a contingency. I'm not allowed to use that for fun. I just know break, bust in case of emergency and talk to the rock.
Yes.
I don't really have magic strong enough to do what you do. And he points to Gunlug. You talk to random people in your head. That's insane.
So does him, and I poked it, point to speaker.
That's a bit
Uh,
of something else, but I think we can. Well, definitely, we are not going back into Haviland until this is sorted,
Not
and be
not not.
careful of send, and be careful of. He turns to Gunlock. Be careful of sending messages to there in case they get intercepted as well.
Also, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure the little guy who gave you the staff said
Mm.
that you can't go in and out using that
we are
teleportation.
not
Like
we
we
are
Yeah,
need
not
yeah.
to
You
trying
make
to
the
can't
go
link
in.
teleport
first,
back with the staff.
Yeah, we are not trying to go in.
which is what I have to do. Hope it's not
Yeah.
far.
I'm more concerned that perhaps our companion has been intercepted and recalibrated,
Well,
and that might be more location worrying. Look, he didn't know about Haviland, but he knew about things here.
Oh, you mean
Should
the guy
we?
with the armor and everything?
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
but
that
he
guy.
didn't follow us into Heavy Land, so he's lost a big
No.
chunk of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But it might have pointed some focus to Falsen that,
Which is also not
yeah.
nice.
Right.
Hey,
We
didn't
have
he go
to
with
fix
Riffon?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know where though.
Look, I'm gonna
But
be.
surely he wouldn't have gotten caught,
He
right?
shrugs. Well, worst case
All right.
scenario, right?
Anyway, Sinex, if nothing else, we won't keep you here further, but stay safe.
I'm gonna go by the weird guy in the caravan. You know,
Mhm.
Riffon's guy, because I'm gonna
Yeah.
need his help with transport. So, do you guys have anything to say to him? Like
I'll
notes?
let
We
him
will
know we are
probably
coming in a short while.
Sure, I can do that.
we saw him not long ago. Well, I did. Anyway,
He
we'll
looks at you
probably be
like,
heading there.
how? He's like, wait a minute. He was here. He never comes here. Like, I mean, not
Oh,
here,
he
here in the
wasn't
fridge.
here.
He
Yeah,
never
he
comes
wasn't
down here.
here.
He
I
hates this place.
yeah. I point to where we are now. He wasn't here, but we were like I was just with him before I came here.
What?
And we'll probably head back to talk to him too
Out of
after this.
character, we should not tell Sinex the guy shape changes because Sinex's brain doesn't need to blow up further.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. He is bewildered right now. He's like, wait, this guy who doesn't like to come down here makes us come down here and do stupid shit. Came down here?
No, he wasn't here, but I was with him before I came here.
Oh,
I went
right.
to look
So,
for him when I was a ghost, but that's neither here nor there. We're probably going to go look for him after this.
right.
You can go ahead if you like, but you can also stay and come with if you prefer to walk with a
I'm
group.
gonna try and make my way as fast as I can to whatever coordinates. I just know I have to go north.
All right.
So if I don't see you in the caravan, bye and thanks. Also, when
Not
you
not.
know the other teams come down and we have information, or you have information for us, we'll let you know.
Um, you're familiar with how to get to where you're going, right? You've traveled outside of Folsom before,
He nods. I've traveled with traders before, but this
and you're
time I can't.
confident that you'll be able to get to where you need to go.
I think so. I well
Okay.
with the weird guy's help, I should be fine.
Yeah, you might see someone there that looks like me. She
He
should be able to help you if you need any help.
don't twins usually stick together?
Not always.
Sure. Okay.
Uh,
Um,
Speaker will add to this. Also, if you come across a strange grandmother lady in a strange house that moves, she's on our side. Well, she's on the good side at least.
he nods, but in a some really weird people kind of way.
Nods in the I don't really understand the words that you're saying,
That's
but
But this
okay.
this isn't the time either to open the doors to Granny Fan and have her say hi. That's too much.
Yes, yes.
he's you
Even
you
might be looking at you right now through the
you
eyes.
you just
No, don't say that.
you just told a guy from like some kampong house in Kuningao, like, hey, if you ever meet Abdullah Badawi, tell him I said hi. And he's like, what?
No,
He
he's
has a
not saying hi, but
helicopter
actually
you can use.
saying like she's a good person.
Do
Right.
not be alarmed if a house walks up to you.
She's not. Oh, the how. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go because the faster I get out, the faster I can get things set up. Wish me
All
luck.
right.
I wave at him.
I'm gonna tell.
Sorry for freezing you back then.
I get it. I was. He does the hand thing that says I don't know what was happening. Again,
I nod.
I thank you guys because I was panicking. I shouldn't have. That's training for you. Okay. And then he runs up and you hear the door open and close.
All right. Speaker turn to Topher next. Okay, so that was a hell of a day. Um, will you be safe? And how should we find you?
I'm still gonna try and run my shop, but we've been closed for close to a week now. Revenue's down. I have to pretend that everything is fine because I still have people to take care of. And if I act weird, they're definitely gonna come after me. I'll try and do what I can to help you, but what are you doing? Are
Let,
we
let,
taking down Fat Robert? What's happening?
Is that something that
okay,
you think
Speaker
is
will say.
necessary?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, ask that. Sure, boss.
Like, here's the thing: you can take out one Fat Robert, but she's gonna install another one, or maybe somebody worse comes in, or somebody better.
And
I
that's
don't
what
think
I
so.
and that's
Wait,
what I
sorry,
mean. Do you have someone in mind?
you're saying she installed Fat Robert?
He nods. Most of the people in a position of power were put here by her. She controls this area.
Hmm.
It's the only reason why we are safe and fed and clothed. Otherwise, we'll be outside.
Do you know if people from Ice Route show up here very quickly without using the front door, as in teleport?
He looks at his map, and then he looks at the noble houses. Well, I can tell you for sure, Bello has never seen the nobles move in and out of this space. And I'm pretty sure they don't hang out here all the time.
Hmm.
Mm.
So if you're
I
asking
can
if there's some kind of teleportation circle, probably. At least one.
can I confirm thirdly say that they definitely have teleportation circle by one of the few things that I know about Falsen and them,
Oh, you
the
definitely know
yeah,
this.
yeah. So I will tell the group that they not for sure but definitely has teleportation. I know the merchants have one.
Well,
Makes sense.
any idea where this might be located? He'll look at Zegan. Where would they place the circle if they had to place one?
Unfortunately, even the merchant one is under lock and key, and you don't know the specifics. Guy might know. He is a merchant,
Gu-
technically.
I do not know where. I know they have it because how they move around. Guy might know since he is part of the merchant. He might have the luxury to use it.
All right, that's something we'll ask him. He looks at okay, Topher. Uh, how much finances are you down?
At this point, I don't think it matters. It's a business, it's a front.
Well, let's just give you a bit to cover it. He'll pass him 3 platinum.
He looks at the 3 platinum, he rolls it back in your hand, and he goes, "These 3 plats will do better bribing your way in another place."
All right, just hope you don't look too broke. All right, thank you. Oh, yeah. At this point, speaker on that will ask, okay, who is bribable?
Where are you going?
If we need to go out of the city to go up to see Guy at the caravan.
Well, Refund will take you out. I'm assuming that if Synex is going up, Refund will find out, and then she'll come down and take you out as if you're some kind of celebrity.
Lamb to slaughter.
All
Or
right,
that.
that's fine.
Oh, not that kind of taken out.
I mean,
Uh,
if you've pissed off the weird guy, sure, lambs. But if he likes you, celebrities.
okay. In the district station, is anyone bribable?
He he shakes his head. Like you have never seen him shake his head so fast. Like you didn't even finish your sentence, and he's like, "No." In fact, I'm pretty sure, Gaia, that's a slit-eyed piece of shit. She's probably working with the matriarch,
That's the
the
Detective,
the
investigator, right?
private
private,
investigator UNT
yeah,
lady.
the
Okay.
PI.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we didn't pursue that too far.
Hmm,
Okay. It's probably okay. Yeah, that means the entire station is not going to be.
Let's just not go with any arms of the government.
Hmm.
cool.
And okay, speaker will confirm him the barn where we stayed. That one is safe, right?
Oh, in Alcaz? Yeah, for sure.
Yep, Inakas is safe. Is the hotel? Sorry, the inn where we first stayed the first night. Is that safe?
The Central
Yeah, should
Hotel
be.
is sort of like a neutral grounds. As long as you don't make too much of a ruckus, most people with some money tend to stay there.
Hmm.
I wouldn't try bribing the people there though. They know nothing. They'll take your money.
What was our potato man named again?
Oh, that was
Remember?
Belil.
That was Bella, right?
Belil, right?
Yep.
Right, Belil is
Potato man.
right. Yeah, he's
Potato.
there. I remember.
Fellow is a central guy, right? Because
Mhm.
Wait, it was either
he is
Belil or Sinex. I can't remember which one is which now. Oh no,
okay.
it's
Let me.
Oh,
Sinex
wait,
because
no.
Belil is the
Synax is the
postman.
potato guy.
Yeah,
Bella's
Sinex
the,
is the
yeah.
potato guy. Belil is the postman who's just like, what? He doesn't have a job now, by the way. Got
Fellow has
fired.
no job now.
He
Oh,
was not a postman
He
for
got
3.5
kidnapped by
days, and then when he
rogues.
came back, they're like, "Oh, we thought you died. Sorry, you don't have a job now. You're fired."
So
Fellow is the
Whoops.
postman.
That's
Sinex
why
is
he
the potato.
panicked and ran away, remember?
He was like,
Mm.
"Shit."
So, Sinex is the central guy then. That means because
Yeah, but
he, yeah.
he's been pulling the wool over the other. Also, can we get a confirmation how many days have we been away from Falsen?
You said 3 days. Uh, make that 4.
Okay.
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 Pretty much travel
Okay.
time in between.
Wait. So there is some time. Is there any time unaccounted for that we don't remember?
No, no, there isn't. Aside from the time you fell asleep. Actually, did you
Okay.
confirm what time you came back? Because I don't think you did.
I don't remember. Now I'm asking because it just occurred to me after like things have
Yeah.
settled down.
I
He,
think the timing wasn't that important. It's like
yeah.
whatever.
No, no, but it's important to confirm that time in Heavyland passes similarly to out here. We don't have another level to deal with.
Okay.
And also how much time passed after we got token? We've
Yeah.
realized not super long, most likely, because we didn't our token bodies didn't get that far. But who
No.
knows how long before they like won the battle and took us? Like that could have been like hours and hours of like.
That's
Yeah.
fair. You would have had this conversation with Synax when he came
Yeah.
down. He would explain, there's no real time difference between Haviland and here. It's instantaneous. All the time is the same. And you're right, absolutely, in that no real significant amount of time had passed ever since you teleported, passed out, and woke up. Otherwise,
Okay.
you would have gotten much further, and you would have been in way more trouble.
Yeah. Because we don't want to like tell the guys it's okay to blow up the tower and they arrive 3 business days later.
All right. Did we need anything else from this guy?
Topher.
Yeah.
Well, he did mention getting rid of Fat Robert.
But
Yeah.
We
he did
can
say
help
there'll
you
probably
Well,
a
do that.
Yeah.
replacement if
He
we.
Yeah,
he did
But
we
then
can
mention,
help
like,
you do that,
I mean, you could, but
but it's not going to do anything if you don't
okay.
have a
look,
new system to put in place.
I'm gonna be honest. I think if you cut off the head, you'll kill the whole thing.
Hmm.
And Fat Robert is not a
Yep.
head. He's probably like a pinky,
Yes.
a toe,
Titty toe.
an appendix.
Right. But also to confirm, in Falsen, you've okay. I think I asked this before, but they've never seen any of the weird undead soul-powered things around in Falsen at all, right?
He shakes his head. I've heard stories about those things, but apparently they never needed it here. We have a fully functional guard force under her thumb. People are easily scared slash protected.
Do you know what Fat Robert's personal guard looked like?
He shakes his head.
All right.
Before about
That's
that,
that's probably something for another day then. Okay. Anyone else have anything for Topher before we say goodbye?
No.
no,
No,
not
shake
really.
my head.
We'll take care
Alright.
as always.
I'm gonna stay in the
And
fridge for a while. You
Cool
know how
down.
I
to let
nod.
yourself down. You know how to let yourself
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Uh, we'll meet again
Soon, I
for
hope.
everything.
And in a better place.
Yes.
Good
In the
luck.
next life.
And he
Oh
you crack that
no.
joke and then he just looks at you and he's like, you got a sense of humor.
Astute observation.
And then it's just like, the awkward staring of people who say bye and then they have to walk in the same direction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
speaker will head out. Make sure our disguises are in place before we exit.
Any
Disguise.
lingering
Disguise.
spirit. Okay, so Kang, when you walk around, I'm gonna say you're walking and talking in disguise now, trying to get out. Uh, there are no spirits in this area because you're pretty sure the tower for this area hasn't been brought down yet.
But having know that suddenly two of the, no, actually four of the bodies has been snatched, I'm wondering if there are souls that are exempted from that tower, which is what is just a paranoid that chicken suddenly have just to look around.
Make me a. Do you have proficiency in Arcana?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Arcana check.
18.
Oh, that's good enough. You. How did you get this power? Was it study? Was it training? Was it born?
Uh, he believes it's haunted because he doesn't have this ability after he killed his own master Robert, and then he gained. So it's not by born, but I think he's haunted, and by being haunted, he slowly gained more of this ability.
Your
Did
master haunted you,
yes.
He did actually in terms
and
of
that's
that.
why. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you decided to like steal him away, but it was the other way around. Gotcha,
Yeah, he
gotcha.
clings in the story. He clings to me.
Yeah, he's
Right,
he's
right, right.
like cling to you, and then a few years later, he's like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have
Ah,
died. I regret. Anyway, so what kind of reading did you do when you were initially haunted?
Uh, Reading, as in like studying about the magic that the abilities I have now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more sort of self-discovery because I'm not sure there's any studies about the souls in public, about like souls being used and souls being uh a thing. So it's more like self-study. He's like testing like what works, what doesn't. First, he can see spirits, and then he noticed he can talk to them in some sense with the power of the trinkets, but limited amount. And then he then slowly noticed he have more of this power, and then he can suddenly become a ghost temporarily. So it's
Okay.
more self-study, in less than studying and finding out in the books.
With the self-discovery, you think back to the pocket dimension that you were in, this maze space, the mind maze or whatever it is.
Hmm.
It's very different from the real world. And you sort of are quiet as people move and talk around you. You're looking around, you're hoping to see a wisp of spirit anywhere that you can catch and speak to or let go, but there's just silence. You don't think if any spirit were to hold on here that it could hold on to you for long. And then you remembered, wait a minute, boss disappeared. Was that ever a conversation?
Boss
I don't think
disappearing?
so.
Yeah.
No.
Well, given that when
No.
we first came back, we were trying to make sure no one had turned over to the matriarch or done things, so
Yes.
not yet.
Mm.
So you suddenly remembered boss teleported out, and by right, her body should have not been inhabited, and she would have been a ghost. Perhaps confirmation would be necessary.
Boss, a little bit confirmation. While we are in the head maze, weird stuff. While you suddenly teleported out yourself.
Oh, right. I explained to Gunlock when she sending to me. Um,
Mhm.
I became a ghost, and then I had to go look for. I went to go look for a guy.
Oh, I thought you were like having a weird experience. That was what. Okay.
Okay, so
Oh.
No, well, it was a weird experience.
Yeah, but
important.
I thought it wasn't real.
Okay, boss. Important question now. How are you clinging on to the plane here in ghost form? Because
I
so
looked down at my hands.
You
Now I'm not a ghost anymore.
not now, but like when you were ghost. Because technically speaking, spirit should not be able to cling to anything too long because the tower is still up.
boss, when you look down to your hands as if a show of I'm right here, you remember that there was a tether going from your center, pulling you to your body, and
Oh,
it
right.
got brighter proximity wise.
I did have a connection anchoring me to my body. Now that you mention it, that might have been something. I did not notice any other ghosts though when I was going around,
Okay, that
which
makes
I don't know if that's a normal thing
that
normally.
should be
I did
no.
see this old lady that said she could see ghosts and I could talk to her. She did mention that I'm the first she's seen in a long time.
Huh.
Oh, a long time means you've seen it before.
Yes,
Kang,
she was very old.
you know that people seeing spirits is not something new from what you've gathered through just talking to people. There were spiritual mediums, so to speak. But this was
Do you know
pre
any here?
Towers Rising, and you don't know any personally. You never actually bothered to look for them because there's no ghosts to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, how would you know there's a spiritual medium? Because they never see anything in their own life.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
No, she's old,
unless
so
they.
She's
she
old.
used to before the towers were created
Hmm.
Okay, so she's okay.
or
I'm sorry,
activated
she's
rather.
more than 250 years
She's
old.
uh she's one of those
Must be.
long-lived people.
Could be,
She's
I don't
just
know.
really
She
wrinkly. She looks
she
like
she
a
looked
Wait,
prune.
she looked like this. Wait, I can do this now. And then I like mold my face to look like her.
You mold your face to look like
I've
her,
been
and this
practicing.
this sort of
Alter self.
fat little dark-skinned squat lady with slightly pointy ears, a bulbous-ish nose. Um, looks kind of tough, but put on weight as she's so wrinkly. She's so wrinkly. She's so old. You think, okay, maybe
She was really
maybe
sweet.
of dwarvish ancestry? You look at Van and there's
Yeah,
yeah, could be. Maybe explains why she's so
there
old and still alive and needs green
could
tea.
be places far away that where souls don't immediately get sucked into towers either. Like if you're near a tower for sure, but there could be places where it's not immediately just sucked up.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so
Why did you ask?
I haven't seen this lady before, right? Just to be
No, no.
sure.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh,
it's a towel.
Okay.
oh
that's
no.
the picture I had.
It's a
But
chow chow.
no, it's a
Oh,
Sharpei.
It's Sharpei, sorry. Why was I
Yeah.
thinking of
the
a chow
thing.
chow?
It's a cute thing.
Yeah, so she
That's
looks like
that's
a
that
Sharpei.
chick from High School Musical.
Don't
Oh,
know.
Lol.
but
Sure.
speaker
Okay,
will
so
say though, a spirit medium is a useful ally to have around, especially for things.
Oh no, she's
okay.
not. She's not able to do any sort of adventuring or anything like
Flashback
that.
to when you saw the lady and you were like talking and
This is
she
too
she
much
literally
excitement
just
for
went,
me.
she's like,
Yeah.
I have to go home now. I feel tired. I might die.
Yes,
And then she
yes.
walks
Yeah.
off.
It's my. It's time for my bedtime.
What time is it? 6 p.m.? Too late, too late.
Yep.
Okay. To boss, she asked why did I ask her?
Yeah.
Well, back to the body being snatched by various whatever entity took our body.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
am worried that they are hiding somewhere, like the tower may make exception for them. But
Ah.
reminding the mind space, they might be also hiding in that weird mind space location, and when the circumstance arise, being like you teleport to the location is needed and snatch the body.
I don't know much about spirits. Um, ADM, does this seem plausible? What
Uh,
kind of proficiency would be required to know this?
well, let's see.
Is it one
You've
of the ones I have?
history.
I
Make
don't
me a
have
history
religion.
check.
I do have history check. History
And
check 19.
19. This is plausible, but putting two and two together and talking with Zekin, both of you come to a conclusion that possibly the mind maze is some kind of holding area for these spirits to go into your person. And
Yeah. And
once
for some reason, me and Gunlog were vulnerable to it, whereas the others weren't.
correct,
Um,
Probably because we've
been there before.
past experience, been there, done that.
yes, but
Might also have
what
been
is it
specifically
about us?
targeted.
Like, has it? I guess it has marked our our spirits. Does that
We
make
might
sense?
be susceptible just from exposure, but also, um, I know that. Well, I don't know about you, Busk, but I know that I woke up multiple times from that conditioning throughout those 250 years.
I tried to think back. Has this ever happened to me?
Make me a wisdom check. I mean, a
Wisdom
wisdom
check.
save. Sorry.
Hey, yeah.
Wisdom save.
You
2.
don't.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
failed.
failed.
What?
You. It's a big fail too. You know
Yes.
what?
For
Because
the
it's a
first
natural
time.
one. Because it's a natural one, I'm gonna mark it as 2 instead of 1. Uh, you you sort of think, and there have been a few
Hmm.
situations where yes, and you remember vividly now. You were standing in front of a big glass screen, a wall, and you're looking into a testing chamber. Not unlike, was it Bloomington? Not unlike the other place that you were previously at.
The Erin Chamber.
Yeah, the Erin
Everglades.
chamber. Everglades, yeah. Um
Hmm.
and it was more like the holding cell, but you're looking through into the holding cell and you see these people after being tested, after having that injection, just waiting. You see them pacing back and forth, and then one of them turns to look toward the glass mirror that you're looking from as if they knew. They make eye contact with you, but there's no recognition, and then they look away. And then you watch them walk a little bit more before collapsing to the floor and convulsing. And that sort of took you back a little bit as Bosk, actual Bosk, managed to climb out of whatever dreaming you had, and you sort of go, well, this is new. And then you look at your notes.
Is that person okay?
Yeah, is that person okay? And then you sort of turn around to call for someone, and then you black out again.
Oh, okay.
You're unsure how many times this has happened before, but that's the most vivid one you can remember.
Now that you mention it, maybe once or twice. Don't remember them
Hmm.
very well though.
They probably didn't last all that long, but it's it wasn't like we were under for 250 years. It was something that we broke out of and then was placed under again.
Hmm. So whatever mark it left is probably mental,
Yeah, probably.
because I can say for a fact there shouldn't be any implants or anything like that inside me right now.
Hmm.
As you're having this conversation, you see a familiar red-headed bulb bounce towards you. It's Riven. She walks by holding an apple and she's munching into it and she's like, I was told you guys were gonna be here. I'm here. Come on, we gotta go.
All right.
Wait, do you know what happened to our friend?
Which one?
The one in the armor.
Oh, brought him upstairs. He spoke with. Did you say his name was Guy? Guy.
Yeah.
And then he went off into the sunset, out somewhere. Probably have to ask Guy what plans he had for the dude.
Right. Will do. Can you get us up there?
Yeah. I'm here to make sure nobody bothers you.
I nod.
Yep.
Let's go.
And then she takes you up.
Just okay. Speaker, just double check with boss. So boss thinks that there shouldn't be any implants in her, right?
Yes.
Okay, boss is the only one who can physically examine herself to an absurd degree to make sure. Has she
Yes.
done this before?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you X-ray yourself
Like
from the
I
inside.
would have known. Yes, if there was something there.
Zekin,
Okay.
you sort of had this
You
conversation
were.
before Rifan came by, so you would have said with your 18 Arcana, it would be less of physical branding, more of a soul tagging. So
Yeah.
whatever soul that was previously put in you remembers you, and it's easier to go in because there's already a door.
Ah. Okay. So that's
Hmm.
why
Yeah.
the soul tried to use
Your
um
ability, what you
yeah
previously
Gunlog's
had,
magic.
Hmm.
because they knew Gunlock had magic that
Yeah,
tried.
he
They
was
tried,
trying to
right?
go home.
But that
Also,
Yeah.
said,
that's why they appeared as an evil boss in Gunlock when they attacked.
they remembered Bosk and Gunlog. What's concerning now is that Topher and Belil are both susceptible to this possession.
Yep.
But you're not
Yep.
sure how the possession is done.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
what is the circumstances to go into this mind maze?
Yeah.
Well, we're probably going to use the teleport staff again, so that's a point of data collection that we can have.
Yeah, I think before we go in, we better do some buffing up and stuff just in case.
Yeah,
Plus,
'cause, like we didn't have any saving throws or anything, if I remember correctly. We were
It
just like, oh,
just
where am I?
It's
Oh,
like
we're somewhere
boop,
else.
yeah.
nah,
It
but in the
just
very least, let's try a protection from evil and good kind of
would
thing.
work.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Um
yeah.
could work.
Rifan hails a carriage that all of you get on. Now you have like a safe, not really insulated place to have a chat. And then she goes,
Oh,
I'm gonna
having
be
a
sitting
chat.
outside. You guys can have a chat or whatever. Make me a perception check and an insight check, whichever you feel like.
Both of those are
Is
bad
it
for me.
is
We
it
just click
both or
anyway.
just one of
Either
them?
pick one.
Oh, pick one. Okay.
What is
One.
that? Oh my god. Okay, 24
Uh,
Nice.
insight. Uh
um, in, no, perception is higher for me. I'll use perception.
boop. Okay.
Hey, 28.
Hold on to that.
I
Gunlog.
remember I have food and take it out and start eating it.
Gunlog and speaker, you look at this woman. She says,
Is anyone?
you'll be safe. She is 100% going to listen into every conversation that you have.
Yeah, fair.
Does anyone want some um lamb rack? I have some from yesterday. Well, from a few days ago.
Oh,
Yes.
I would like to have one. I
Here,
haven't
here.
eat
I
for.
pull it out and I like break it apart. Om nom
Ah,
nom.
With extra hand in front of you that belongs to
Spe-
Rifan. Thanks.
Oh, here you
Speaker
go.
will question everything that the boss prepares from now on.
No, you know that this was from the
The
market.
market. It's cold because you have like an ice box in there.
Was it prepared by ooze hands or person
No,
hand?
it
Did
was
any ooze
bought.
go
It was
in?
bought by a grilling person. I mean, from a grilling person at the market.
do
Yeah,
we have
by me.
any heat source to like
I've not drugged anything.
Yet.
She hears you
do?
say by me, I'm not drugged. I've not drugged it. And then she's just like, I should be worried, but I'm not. And then she just takes a huge bite and she climbs up to the carriage. She's like, chop chop.
All right, I get it.
Yep, yep. In we go.
Ah,
Om nom nom.
Well, Speaker will ask while we're traveling. He'll ask like Rafan if anything unusual has happened since we left.
You say that from inside the carriage. and you know Rifan is trying to pretend that she can't hear anything.
Ah, okay. Can ask her
There's
later.
there's a slot at the top of the carriage that you can open, like a skylight, like a sky
Yeah,
roof
he'll do
thing,
that for formality. Open it to ask that.
and then
Wait a
he
second.
she sees you,
Yeah,
and
I
then
can.
she's like, pretend surprise. I'm going to use your previously rolled 24. She's like, oh, well, what'd you need?
Has anything unusual happened since we left?
I mean, no more than usual. There's less traders coming in, but that's because, you know, it's midweek. They tend to come in towards the end of the week.
Speaker will say, actually, let's focus a bit more on the prison station. Because
Oh,
he knows that, like, when he called the meeting, stuff happened and that kind of thing, and Rafan being part of the force may know something and all this.
I am trying not to interact with that precinct at the moment because I heard Gaia was there and she will know. So I've been sort of on the outskirts, you know, outside specifically in the cold where it's safe. Because I heard that UNTs generally don't like the cold because they'll fall asleep. I don't know if that's true.
They are cold-blooded, but I'm
Ah,
not sure
cold
about
sucks.
that.
Tell me what you know about Gaia besides the PI part.
Oh, she's a piece of shit. Pay her enough, she'll do anything. And I mean anything. So that was this one
How?
time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I paid her too. And then she goes off on a tangent about how some X-rated stuff happened, but that was enough money. And then she's like, you know, that kind of stuff.
Um, do
Wait,
you
what?
know how? Do you know she's tied to the main? Well, the bitch.
Yeah. Can guarantee most money there. I would say that she is inexplicably willing to do a lot of work with the bitch.
She is. Mm,
You know, again, if you have more money than the bitch, you can probably buy her out, but I wouldn't trust her
Mm.
simply because,
figure.
you know, she can simply be paid. She's good at her job, don't get me wrong.
Does she have any magical or supernatural abilities beyond being good at her job?
She's got magic items, which if you try to steal from her, she will cut your hand off. Happened to, and then she goes off on another tension story about how her friend
Happened
tried
to
to
this
rob
guy.
her.
You wouldn't believe.
It's
Blah
like,
blah
oh
blah
my
blah blah
god,
blah
he
blah.
came back with a stump, a stump! Just joking, he did.
He, but he did have a stuff.
He did have a stump. Can confirm, 10 out of 10.
Not
Would
sure if
stump again.
chopped off hand before or after this.
What kind of magic items?
She tends to look for people that owes her money with like this tiny, I think you guys call it scrying, like a scrying eye thing. She also has a magical map. I don't know where she keeps it, but she pulls it out on occasion.
Out of character, you don't still owe her money, do you?
No, she cancelled the thing because, like, it became she cancelled the contract herself.
Ah, okay.
But she kept
But
the
in regard,
deposit.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair, fair, fair.
the deposit
Okay.
was considered lost the moment I gave it, and that was fine. Scrying eye, magical map. Okay, can those of us with Arcana tell what these are?
Oh, you know the scrying thing. You have one for yourself.
Yes, I have it on my person right now.
It came with as a set with the stuff. Like the little guy who gave you the stuff was like, use the scrying thing to look at a place that you think you know to make sure it's the right place.
But the
Mhm.
magic map she mentioned, is it like something
Magic map.
different? Yeah.
You've not heard of anybody using some kind of magic map? Maybe it is a permanent version of locate object or locate person,
Oh, that would be very useful.
but you're not
Uh,
sure of the range
I'm
or like what are the parameters of this thing?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let
Okay, I
Speaker
think
know.
while Gaia is around, I think we should definitely leave Falsen and do other things.
Yeah. Before we do anything else and keep leaving here, can I locate creature and see if I can find any sign of Valerius? Which I don't think I will, but I will try.
You
Just to,
ping, you focus, there is not a blip.
yeah, I did not think there would be.
Because she did say he set off into the sunset, so implies he didn't come back down. Well, actually,
I mean, it has been
Speaker
days,
will
so you
ask
never know.
Rafan. He didn't come back to the city, did he?
No. If he did, I would have known. Because, you have that little pendant thing that guy gave you, right? To get in and out of the city? Because you're merchants,
Right.
and she puts that in bunny ears.
Hmm.
I took
Shows
it back from
pendant.
him
Yeah.
because he's not supposed to have it long term. Like the minute you guys go up, you're giving that back.
How
All
long
right.
is this ride to the gate? Is it shorter than an hour?
It should take you like an hour and a bit.
I'm going to attune to the scrying eye right now.
Okay.
I want to
I would
try
also
something.
consider this a short rest.
Yeah, okay. Because I
Short
would
rest.
like
Yay.
to try to find Valerius with this.
With what?
Okay, Valerius. Yeah, you can definitely scry on
The the
him.
scry the scrying eye is once a day
Oh, right.
ability, right? I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
we'll be teleporting to Goldfield today, so I'm trying to look for Valerius with this.
Okay.
That's
Okie
why.
doke.
You focus on the scrying eye. While you focus, you get ascending from
Oh.
your little underling, a particular
Oh, right.
little person.
Why is her timing so
Oh,
like
their timing is the
unwizardly?
Coincidence? I
worst.
think
My
not.
God.
A wizard is never late nor early. A wizard doesn't know what time it is actually.
Yeah.
You get this. I'll say it
You're the
in your code and then I'll explain it to you in long form. Okay?
She has
Okay.
anti-wizard timing.
She's the worst. She has to
Mm.
babysit three other dumb fucks. Okay? Give her a break. She's
Fair,
like
fair, fair.
in
Fingers back.
a
Yeah, fair.
yeah, fair. Soldier
We've met.
focused. Entered nest. Pointed peaks information. Available, no code name. No work here. Early bird to follow scout. Confirmed? What you get is she's telling you that she saw Valerius go into Erin's house 1 minute ago,
Oh, fuck.
and he seemed to be focused. They found out through just general chatter around town. They've been walking, they've been talking, getting some gossip. They found out there's someone in the mountains who knows about the spires, but you didn't get a name because he has no code name yet. And then the last bit was her plea, her saying, I cannot sit here and do nothing. Can I please go follow Minu and do something else? Because I'm bored.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one I understand. Like, okay. And can you repeat? Like, someone in the mountains might know about the towers. Is it?
Yeah, there's been chatter. They've
Oh,
been talking
Okay,
around and there's
I
like gossip.
posted the text in thing as best I could.
Okay.
oh, you type faster than I do. Okay.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah, you type way faster than I do. Uh, okay. So,
Because
all
my
right.
lecturers speak really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I just record.
Okay. So let's. Okay. Can follow menu this board. Okay. So I
Okay,
will.
this Goldfield just became priority number one for all of us,
Yeah.
if it
Yeah,
So
wasn't
yeah, yeah, yeah,
already.
yeah.
did I use my scry then?
No, no,
If
no, you didn't.
I
You were
okay.
focusing, and then suddenly you heard Whisper's voice. It doesn't
His
break your
phone. Doop, doop.
concentrating,
Oh.
but you're like
Okay.
you heard the viber noise, or is it Skype like krr, krr, what?
Oh. Um. Okay. I can I confer with the group before I reply to this message?
I will say you have 1 round, 6 seconds. Go.
Wow, 6 seconds. Okay. Know where Valerius is in Goldfield. Uh, what now? Do we go to Goldfield?
I guess that's the next stop.
Yeah.
All right.
We still have to
I
talk
want
to
to
Guy
talk to
though,
Guy.
so yeah, but so don't do
Oh,
anything
Um,
crazy.
yeah, and I technically probably need until tomorrow
We
here
don't
in the
have until
vicinity here.
tomorrow, but we should probably talk to Guy.
okay. Okay, I'll do my reply. I'm just going because I don't have time to do the short version. I'm just gonna do the long version, but
Sure,
I'll just
but
keep
pretend
it
it's the
short.
short version.
Yeah, yeah. So I will say like we'll be coming to um Goldfield either today or tomorrow. But if you can't wait, go help Minu. But don't be too far away so we can't reach you.
You're pretty
That's it.
sure it got sent.
Okay.
About half an hour later, you managed to attune to the little dingly ball. It's very
All right.
precious. Like it feels as if you sat on it wrong, it'll break, but it's quite sturdy.
It's a chain and crystal ball, right? If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
So
Yeah.
imagine a chain, like a very strong but delicate silver chain tied to a crystal that is covered in two rings that overlap.
Okay. Now that I have time, and I know the guy up there can speak, but I don't think I have the luxury of privacy right now. Okay, so good news and bad news, people. As I already told you, we know where Valeris is. He also know where Aaron's hideout is. I going to go in alarm and say he might back to his other self.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Um,
has mm,
Rifan's head pops into through the skylight because she was previously talking to speaker, and she goes, "So you found the guy?" And this is a bad thing.
yeah, but we still
apparently
need to talk
so.
to guy, so its direction doesn't change. We're still going outside.
Cool. So do you need like a ride? It's gonna take a. You mentioned Goldfield. It's gonna take you a while to get there.
We thought about it, but that is like afterthought. We have to go to guy first.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it might be part of some plan he has. Can't rule that out. I say hopefully.
Well, well.
Oh, all right. Fast forward to going past the gate. Everybody gets checked. She asks you to give back your little token of
Here's the
merchant,
token.
and then she puts it in
I'll
her
be really
pocket.
surprised if Guy and Valerius plan some kind of a double agent super secret thing.
uh, um,
I do not trust Valerius to do that for
No.
2 seconds.
But remember, this is not Valerius now
this is
in this piece.
well, you don't know what guy
It's
asked. She takes you to the little caravan that you remember. Looks tiny from outside, little door. You knock on the door, and she's like, "I'm not going inside. I got work to do. Okay, bye." And then she disappears. The
ta-ta.
door opens, revealing the same man you met the first time. No more Sergey or Sergio.
No more Sergey? Ah,
Sergegio. And he goes,
Oh,
we're
"Oh,
This
back.
guy.
Is
welcome
guy form
back."
or is he in his changeling form?
He's in his guy form. He's never
Okay,
in his changeling form.
right.
Why would you ever be in your changeling
that's the
form? That's
stupidest thing to ever do.
crazy.
You,
That's
you never know
insane.
when he's trying to like
In
different
this
outfit,
economy,
quote unquote.
Like right now, he thinks that you don't know that he's a changeling, except for Bosk.
But
me?
I mean,
Why
he
do
Which
I
means
literally
we
know?
all
changed.
know.
Oh,
You
He
know because
changed in
when
front of
he
us the
yeah
first time, didn't he?
did he?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
I'm
guy
Then
pretty
did
sure he
change.
did. That's
Then
why
he
we all
does.
know that he's a changeling.
Right.
Yeah, he even like pick his name is like call me this time around guy, and then we're
Guy
like, wait, this
Pearson.
time?
Okay. So
Yeah.
he trusts you. Oh wow. Okay. Things I don't
Yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah.
about the characters that I make up in my head. Congratulations,
Ah,
me. Yeah, but he's the same person that you met the first time. Not as changeling. First of all, it's
Okay.
cold
Oh,
outside. And he goes, "Oh,
right.
you're here. That was quick. Good to see
yes,
you.
we
Tea
have
is
some
on
updating to do.
the table. Yes, and mind you, every good update gives you a little bit more money in your coffers. Come in.
All right, we enter.
Mm.
There's
Sinek's been
tea
through here. Is he doing okay?
and sorry.
Has Sinex been through here? Is he doing okay?
Oh, he just left actually. In a hurry, that boy wants to go north, so I sent him off with some merchants, who just happened to be going north. Did
What?
you
What?
know there's a cliffside enclave up north that nobody seems to be able to get to except for the merchants? I'll let you think on that. In the meantime, here are some cucumber sandwiches. There's also, in brackets, fish that is like tuna, but tuna doesn't exist here. And
Tuna replacement.
Tunish.
tuna replacement.
It is. It's
Is it
Tunish.
actual? Is it actual fish
Tunish
or like something that people made to have the consistency and texture of fish?
with guy, you're not sure.
I I check it with my culinary proficiency.
Use your poisonous kit tools
I'm
to
like,
check it.
oh,
You
Mm.
you
I
like
just eat it.
you sort of tongue it. You're
I'm
like
I'm
yum yum yum.
interested in the food.
He observes this. He's like,
I'm like,
it is fish, actual fish. You see, I got it through a trader that was coming back from the north. There's a fishing village where I was telling you about, but I won't tell you more of that. Tell me what you know.
luxurious.
Is it
Right.
the fishing village where they can went to try to cross the barrier that the closest
No, this is a
barrier?
different one.
Okay.
Multiple fishing villages. Crazy.
Wow.
Um, must be so cold. Terrible, terrible place. Um, I guess we fill him in on Haviland stuff, right? Anyone stopping me?
Uh, Actually, speaker will interrupt and he will. Okay, on have.
Mm.
How much do we actually want to tell him about Heavy Land here?
I don't mind telling him literally everything.
Because just afraid that the information might sell to someone that he doesn't know. It's or he knows but he doesn't
Okay,
care.
what are you keeping out?
Okay, speaker will definitely keep out that about the means of reaching it, the teleportation thing, and just like maintain that the only means we know is being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Mm.
But that it exists and what it is.
We do not want to.
He lets you know that he knows of the existence of Haviland.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
He's just
Okay.
never been to it.
Okay.
Okay. So we got to go, and it was very nice. They have a lot of magic there. Um, what do you know of the place actually?
He squints at you and he goes,
So we
I
don't have to.
feel like I would rather listen to you regale your adventures on Haviland.
Okay, so do you want to hear about the history as well, or
I want to ask if it's a good idea to tell him the history so we can earn more gold.
fun fact? We used to
His
travel with one
history
of the
is fine to
founders.
speak.
Yeah.
You
History
see
is
him
fine.
put like a mark on his book when you talk about history. Seems like he's interested.
Mm.
Okay. Fun fact, we used to travel with one of the founders. It was this
Mhm.
elf that we thought was killed very quickly by the matriarch, but apparently not. She managed to escape and found Haviland. Unfortunately, didn't take any of us with her.
He starts describing uh uh shit, what's her name? I'm like Snoopy Morgana.
Yes, yes. Oh, I
Yay
remember what she
high.
looks like. I go.
Okay. He's
Oh,
he's sort of amused that you're able to change as well. He's like, this is new. When did this happen?
Oh, right. Something else that happened over in the thing. I changed into a thing, and then I hold up my hand and make it go wibbly wobbly.
Well, so you didn't change into a me, you changed into a something
No,
else.
a something else.
Now,
And then I change back.
if I were to strike out some of the money that you've made with your information, I could give you something in return. Related to you, of course.
I tilt my head. Me personally,
He
or
nods.
me us?
You and then he tries to wibbly wobbly, but he fails because he doesn't wibble wobble. But that's up to the
Okay.
rest of you to decide. It is collective money, of course.
I think items would be more helpful than coin given where we're going.
I don't really have a lot of items on hand.
But he did say that he had something specific for me.
Yes, information.
Okay. Oh, information.
Mm.
Ah.
Is it
About you,
something to do?
your new thing.
Sure. I think it's worth knowing.
He looks at you and he goes,
It's information, it's not items, so yeah, sure.
he scratches out two out of the seven that you have. You don't know what seven means in the first place. And he goes, I have heard tales of a place far south where people have congregated. People who congregate don't come back. And people who interrupt the congregation don't survive. Take that what you will.
Do you know if it has anything to do with the matriarch's forces?
Definitely
Or is it
not.
something natural?
Well, he sort of thinks to himself like, if it weren't for her, this wouldn't exist. Actually, it would if it weren't for you, this wouldn't exist. So I guess you could say you are, in this situation, the mother.
Mm.
Is that where your instincts speak to you, Bosk?
He
I
definitely said
nod.
south. Sounds like it.
Yep.
Hmm.
Now, if you could
Yeah.
tell me why this happens, you can get the 2 marks back.
Why?
You
Like
know,
why they're gathering there.
yeah,
Um, do I in my notes have anything? Well, I would have looked at this before because I felt the direction ever since like Haviland, right?
correct. Ever since
Like being
you sort
outside
of turned,
didn't inhibit the direction.
correct.
Um, would there have been anything in the notes that we've collected about a facility down in that area or anything?
You know from the notes that there are no facilities there, so you don't have to use any points to get this information because there is none. There's no
Okay.
facilities down there. There's no knowledge that you have from your notes that there is some kind of congregation there. This is news
Okay.
to you, but it's not news to your instincts. You're like, of
I,
course.
out of character, I'm thinking there's another big ooze there and they're all flocking to it to become part of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
That sort of makes sense.
Um, but this like other larger ooze, would it be a natural ooze or something that we made?
What the hell is
Use
a natural ooze?
natural
I
ooze,
think
just like
I
Like
think
black
there
there is
there
a
pudding,
are there are
natural
like
just
monsters
random
that are
black
oozes.
pudding.
Yeah, like a big one.
Um, given what Guy said, it's probably something you helped make.
Okay. So I'll have to look in the notes for an example of a large scale escape or something like that, or maybe it was just like a small leak that ended up getting to a big state. So are there any records of, oh, we dispose of something down there?
Okay, I will use one knowledge point. Is
Yes,
the only
of
one you
course.
have for Ivan.
Yep.
For you to ascertain that you've never made anything massive. In fact, going back to the hamster, right? That
Yeah, that
thing
wasn't
wasn't
massive. That was like small thing,
that
but you
that
know.
I mean, originally it was bigger and then you beat the shit out of it until it was a tiny thing. But that wasn't your creation, that was an evolution.
Yep. That was
And
like we left all the oozes there together and then they like merged and became big
correct.
and then it became small. Okay.
But at the same time, you felt as if the wizard that turned into an ooze monster, it had a very strong personality and it tried to overwhelm you, but you managed to shut it up. So you feel like whatever large entity that exists far in the south, it's more a hive than a single thing. You think this is conjecture.
Mhm. Okay. Mm, well, I don't know for sure, and I won't know for sure until we get there and check things out.
He nods.
But I can give you a theory, and then I'll give him information about the Bloomington situation with the hamster and say that maybe something similar has occurred.
He
Hamster?
nods.
Do you happen to know when this has started happening?
I can't tell you when exactly. I can sort of figure out when I came across this conversation, and information. It's been years, maybe 50 or more.
Ah, well, I guess whoever was walking around in my body wasn't as careful as I would have been.
Hmm, interesting. And then you see him write two back into your notes. Any other information you have for me?
We've given him the Haviland stuff. We bring up Valerius, I guess, now? Does anyone else have other things to tell him?
Uh,
Um,
well, let's ask about Valerius first, since that seems kind of important. Or where did
hmm.
he go? What did you assign him to? Because
I
he's
sent
apparently in
him.
Goldfield now.
Dear, I would never. There are dangerous things in that area that he should never be privy to. I sent him to do some simple errands travel, protect. Unfortunately, perhaps he was taken over. Why would he go
Wh-
there?
Where was he supposed to go towards, and where did you lose contact with him?
Oh, I never had contact with him from the first place. He was with one of my merchants, and then he points to an area on the map. Let me point to an area on the map. They were going
Are we
here.
on where are we, which map are we
East.
looking at?
Okay.
Oh,
Roll 20? Okay.
Roll 20.
roll 20, the roll
Yeah,
20.
I saw a red ping. Yes, that
The
is
Ping.
the
ping.
DM one. Yep, yep, yep.
I was going to send him here. And he was supposed to
Uh,
be with some of the merchants to get more of that fish.
Were they
He's
teleporting?
Oh,
not
no,
there.
no, no. Caravans. Teleportation is something ill afforded by a lot of the merchants. They simply do not have the magic, nor do they have the finances.
Right.
have the
Okay.
ability
So add
to
that to the map that there's a fishing village there.
Yes.
uh do you have the ability to contact your merchant now, or contact is not even an option?
Oh, contact is an option. It's just, however, not important.
If the
Um,
safety of the
could
merchant,
could you
uh,
contact them now to see if they're safe and what cost at what point or what cost did our friend go funny and off course?
Mm, give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. You are reminded by this fellow who really does things for his own enjoyment. He doesn't really care about people.
Well, Speaker will say that might affect the fish coming back.
You're right. Still, disadvantage persuasion?
Okay,
did
still this.
bring it up, would that be a help action?
No, you're not asking him questions. Oh, okay, 12 is something.
All right.
Mhm.
Something, something.
Do I really want to spend some time on such silly people when I can just ask more people to go and get me more fish? It does bring a premium. And then he looks at the sandwiches on the table and he's like, please do enjoy the ones on the table currently. And you see him go to a drawer and he takes out a piece of stone and he goes, hello, just wondering if you're all still alive and when my shipment of fish would be ready and back here. He waits.
Oh,
Well,
Oh, this is
I think
I
they're
think that's
either
not a good
ignoring
sign.
me or they're dead.
we're
A's,
taking
A's.
over.
Not good. Not good.
neither of these the answer is good.
Um,
How long? Oh wait.
I
Ida?
no, that's all right. I'm changing topics. So if you had something on this same topic, go ahead.
Now I was just thinking about it. Then I realized like Valerius would have been traveling with them for 4 days, and like anything could have happened by now.
At any point, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you go lah, either whatever you have asked.
Well, I wanted to ask actually, I've been thinking about ways to let the outside world know of our presence, which we have succeeded in kind of doing. Um, they do want to. There is a group that wants to come here and help, and I've been thinking about ways to make that easy for them, and I have some ideas. Uh, and Guy, you might have some insights into whether this is a good idea to do now, or if you even have information that might be helpful for them, locations to go to, and networks or people to contact.
Do my
I would
ears
like to
deceive
try
me?
to.
Is this the resistance propaganda?
I mean, yes,
He seems very excited. For the
is
information that you've given me, I think this would be duly something fun for me to undertake. Of course, that
I
requires
was hoping
me
so,
to go traveling a little bit.
potentially.
What ideas do you have in mind? A play, a newspaper, banners across the sky? Although that last one perhaps would call the ire of that particular woman.
Well, I uh, believe that items from a location will make it easier to travel to it by teleportation, correct?
Ah, so you're saying you want to move an object from where we are to the real world?
Yes.
I'm afraid we cannot do that.
Why not?
Teleportation simply is just impossible.
It's not really teleportation, is kind of just um banishing someone from this dimension and then they kind of plop out in the real world. And then when I drop the magic, and they drop the rock, they'll come back.
I can tell you factually from many stories that banishment, if I'm getting this correctly, the spell, correct?
Yes.
Those who are banished do not really come back in the best of situations. Mangled is one way to put it. There's something to do with the barrier between this space and
Like physically mangled?
he he smiled. He smiles and then sort of adjust his body, and you see somebody who is just, this is physically impossible for physiology to be like this. Like, you've got arms bent in the wrong way, elbows broken, neck a little bit too long, like they've been spaghettified.
So what if the person that's being banished is Uzi
He looks
and
at
not necessarily stuck in one shape?
Bosk and he's like, is this something you want to risk? Honestly, it's not something that anybody has done before, because I don't think we've seen such a specimen out and about. They all seem to go south.
There is the risk of me going through that firewall again.
Yes,
Firewall?
but we would also be at the other side.
Speaker will tell him about the firewall.
Ooh,
Well,
he
it
likes
starts
this
as a maze,
information.
and this seems to be a precaution, and blah 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 blah.
He likes this information,
That's
definitely.
how I turned into a ghost.
And I
Right.
suppose the real world people can't come here even if Bosk can come and go.
That is a very strong assumption that Bosk could, in fact.
I know, just assuming even if Bosk could, other
But
people traveling here would be able to.
We have
those
very.
speaker will.
Go ahead.
Sorry, continue.
Okay. We have very strong contacts in the outside world 250 years ago. I'm sure if they could, one of them would be here, at least. But the fact that we've heard nothing, and actually it's keeping me in business.
Well, I've heard from the outside world.
You
I've
have?
communicated with the outside world.
How?
Sending.
Basic sending, bro.
He is very, very perplexed. You don't need an insight to be like, he's like, I don't see
It shouldn't
how.
be.
Do you have a
shouldn't be
particularly strong connection with this other individual?
Yeah.
Have you tried connecting with others?
I don't know anyone else that I could do. He's a long-lived person. No one else that I know that would be out there would still be alive, so there wouldn't be anyone else for me to contact.
That's
I need
fair.
to know the target.
Are you sure you've never met an elf or a dwarf or a gnome in your employ that may have
What do you
I
mean?
guess
escaped
you
by ship?
you have tried it on other people, but it hasn't worked, and
He
our
nods.
assumption was just that they didn't make it out.
Yeah.
But revisiting our memories real quick, were there any other elves, dwarfs, and whatnot?
You
We
met.
tried
Yeah.
contacting the gnome lady,
We
whose name I forgot.
tried.
Yeah, gnome lady did not reply. It did not even send. Like,
No, I didn't. That was just like cannot connect to anyone. I think I
correct.
tried one of the paladin elves or something that I talked to briefly at Aegis headquarters once upon a time.
Zaraha was a halfling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so halflings are not long lived. Never mind.
Mm.
You need
W-
gnomes, yeah.
there was an elf at the tree, but I don't know if Gunlock ever talked to that one. Only
I don't
Speaker
think
knows.
Gunlug met him. The
Yeah.
ex-cannibal, the one who was just like,
Yes.
oh yeah, I killed the guy
No.
once. You want to talk to a tree?
No, and then like the people that we interrogated, none of them are long lived, right?
Nah.
No, I don't
Uh,
remember any.
The orcs and stuff? Nah. They were humans and
I
orcs.
mean, you did
mm,
meet a dragon.
Dragonborn, you mean?
No, a dragon. The little girl.
Dragon? I don't
Yeah,
remember
dragon can
a
shapeshift
dragon.
into humanoid.
Yeah, but did we meet a dragon?
I don't remember a dragon.
The one. Okay, maybe you didn't know her as a dragon, but she did say hi to you at the halls, like this very
Oh.
I
elfin person.
Because I think we would have remembered the dragon if one manifested in their form.
Probably
Well, she
she
wasn't a
didn't
dragon.
reveal herself.
Maybe we
Yeah,
didn't know she was a dragon. Okay.
yeah, I don't
Ah,
think so.
okay. But you did meet like a young lady in a long, sort of silvery dress, walking around barefoot like a weirdo.
That's like every elf from Lord of the Rings or something.
That's fair.
Okay. So, yeah, that was interesting. So, yeah, speaker talks about the firewall. Okay, the sending. Actually, speaking of the sendings part, does Guy know anyone from the outside world that has tried contact and failed?
He nods. I'm not going to say who, but let's just say the first the first 100 years we were stuck here. I would rather not be stuck here.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Then speaker turns to Gunlock. Could it be that you, due to your circumstance with the bitch, that she created loopholes for you to pass through?
Uh, that would be really fucking foolish of her, but I guess it's not impossible. Because I
Because
mean,
remember, you said
I
you,
was
you could do
also able
sending.
to.
No, you could do sendings when others couldn't, right?
You also
Ye-
know that the matriarch has other people holding sendings for her.
Yes, I was gonna say I'm sending towards her and hit other people who was grabbing them. Oh fuck. Maybe I was one of the people grabbing sendings for her, and that's still kind of up and running.
Dun dun dun. He looks at you. He's like, "You were a conduit. That's interesting."
Uh, what?
Well, the, that woman doesn't actually receive sendings by herself, obviously, because many people would try to kill her. So she doesn't dream. She doesn't receive sendings.
Yes.
She's protected and all that. So she has conduits of people who receive things for her, personal assistants, if you may. Once they get
I
messages, they will tell her, and then she will reply.
I remember some people near her just like falling to the floor dead.
Yes, yes, that would happen quite often. Do you remember how many changed within your exorbitant lifetime?
No.
That's expected. Yes, yes. That could be a reason why you could.
So if I go and attack her right now, for example, hypothetically speaking, would I risk, sending something at her and just hitting myself?
You know, I don't really have an answer for that. And then he pulls out a picture of a pretty young elf with very drow-like features, and he's like, sendings require you to only see a picture of a person. You don't actually have to know them, right?
It helps if I know them.
Well, this is Kiara. She should still
Okay.
be alive, given, elves don't age that fast unless she was stabbed. She does have a potential to actually be stabbed. She's kind of a bitch, but try. Say whatever you want.
Huh.
She's going to be what the fuck anyway.
What name does she know you by?
Oh dear. You know what? I don't really have a message to send her. You can say, you bitch. That would be enough.
I'm gonna do a sending and be, hi, you bitch. How's it going? Long time no see.
Make me a D100 roll and then a D20 roll.
Okay.
Like a straight D20.
84 and 5.
You send this out, just a simple you bitch. You feel your magic go through the barrier. It makes it past. But at the same time, you get feedback.
Yeah.
I'ma roll some dice.
Uh-oh.
I'ma roll 3 d10s. You
I know
take
you're gonna get
18
hit.
psychic.
I do a flinch.
Did it work? Did she reply?
Give it a second. It went through. Got a fucking headache now.
I do apologize. And then he
Do
gives
you?
you three more lines on his little notebook.
So she only get feedback and nothing else, right? That's the role.
Didn't respond, but I could tell that it went through, like that it went to someone. Is that correct?
That's big.
That sounds about right. So, what you experienced is what I experienced and many others when we tried to connect to the outside. We felt our magic go through, but what returned was distorted, nasty. Give us a headache. And for some of us who didn't have the wherewithal in the Constitution to contain such malice, dropped dead. And so most of us just stopped.
Oh. I reckon I could do that about 8 or 9 times.
He looks at you and he's like, but can your brain take that 8 or 9 times?
I mean, it took 250 years of scrambling, so
That's fair. I suggest to keep it to your friend, who you seem to have a good repartee with. Any information, I hope, has stayed between you and them.
yes. The outside world people there do want to come. They remember. They do want to help.
I can imagine so. I don't know personally what's happening with this, and then he just randomly points, makes a circle with his finger. I believe we're in some kind of demi-plane, alternate dimension,
Seems like
sitting
it.
under a dome, protected from everything else, but concerningly.
Do you think taking down the dome will put the place back in the real world, or do you think it'll just collapse everything and we go floating off?
Well,
Um,
I don't have the intelligence to come up with, but if I were crazy enough, I would try and collapse the dome. What's the worst that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
Speaker will speak at that point, saying, um, do your networks have any luck finding more of those towers?
We're still searching. He confirms that the Bloomingdale one exists.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still searching. So now you technically have information on 2 more towers.
A Bloomingdale one is in
The
Yeah, sorry,
nearby
the
here one?
Bloomington, the one nearby
closest
here.
Bloomington.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Speaker will tell him like if it's possible for him to search along the coast, the closer towards Haviland because there was disruption felt on certain parts of the island that was stronger towards that side. There might be another one along the coast.
I can send my forces, he says, and then he raises 3 lines from his notebook.
Hmm.
And then he looks at Gundog and he's like, "Oh dear, you should sit down, my darling."
Why?
Out of character, you yawned. In character, you yawned.
I didn't yawn.
I thought you did. It hurt.
I
It
hear a
sounded like
yawn.
yawning. It's like pause.
It
Uh,
did sounds like yawning, yeah.
So he's like, "Oh no, you have a headache," and he sort of gives you like a like a mint menthol bowl so that you can inhale to
Saying it
like.
now, I yawn though. Now that you guys have said it like 3 times,
Uh,
I manifested it.
okay.
uh,
TLDR. What else do you want to know from this guy? He will send somebody to the coast, north coast, right? So
I
just cover the coast.
Well, west from where we are,
Mm-hmm.
because that makes sense for where Haviland might be interfering with big the tower. So
Mm-hmm.
towards the west from where we are.
Go down this way, and then go around, right?
No. I think let me draw. I think
For the people who cannot see what we're doing, we're just drawing on the map. It's
Yay.
not that important.
okay.
Very
'Cause
exciting.
from what I remember, if you recall this particular thing, we needed to be within like 3 hexes to feel the effect, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm thinking we focus along the. I think we can narrow the search a little bit to like here.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense. What do you guys think? Just narrow it along the
Yeah,
west
I
coast.
think just
Yeah.
along the coast should be solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be
And
too
then
far, right?
from what we have heard, there's like a place like Clern Maroon or whatever it is over there.
Correct.
Uh, actually, Speaker asked Guy if he's heard of such a place.
He smiles at you.
Clern.
That's exactly the place that I was telling you about earlier. You know, the one on the cliffs?
Hmm.
The secretive one. They're quite insular, you see. But once you get up there and persuade them that you're friends, they're quite nice.
Would that be
Speaker
something that you'd
asked then.
recommend?
If you like making friends.
Okay, Speaker asked then about the where he sent the guy to get fish from. Say, there's another place here.
Oh, just a small fishing village, really. Very, very tiny. Lucrative, but dangerous. So don't expect any families. Just maybe bachelors and people who have nothing else to live for. Quite dire, actually.
Okay. Okay, Speaker also asked him about, if I recall that Team B reported something about the old military base, right?
Team B.
Did they?
Uh,
You mean the 3
Mount.
people going south?
Yes. And
That
remember,
was the
we roughly
ooze
remember where.
direction.
I know it could be the ooze thing, but the he will ask him about the military base that used to be.
Oh.
I'm having a name
Maybe he
blank because
has
all I can
modded.
remember is the stupidity of the polymorph and the snail and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, but we know where it is. It's like over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Where
Speaker
we
asked
took
him if
the
he's aware
woofer
of.
and subwoofers to go see.
So he replies to
I
you
remember the
with
dog name.
it's a dog name. Um well, the military barracks in that area have long since been defunct. I don't think anybody's been down there. Save the wind, the snow, and the sleet. Perhaps some dangerous animals.
Good to know. Then he will ask Guy about what we call the ruins of Emir.
Oh, the ruins of Emir. Famed to be a place where you go to get your answers, well, your questions answered. Made requests
Your
of.
answers question. Oh,
To
yes.
get your answers questioned. Um, any requests that you may have, your hopes and dreams, perhaps one day will be fulfilled if you were to pass a gauntlet. But that's as much as I know. As far as I'm concerned, it sounds like a terrible place. I have everything I need right here. Why were you thinking of going? And if you do, do bring back a little bit of a trinket, or perhaps a rock, or anything really.
That's here, right? Like on the edge of.
Ruins
Yeah,
of Emir is in the. I'm checking the Owl Bear map. So
yeah.
yes,
Actually,
it's there.
Alver would be better. Why am I not on
It's
there?
somewhere. It's in the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, the where it's clicking is correct.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
just.
There's a mark here.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, should be around there.
Do
That
do do
location.
do. Upside down triangle.
All right. So he understands that. Was there anything your group encountered in Neil's Peak or something about the possible tower there?
Nell's Peak. You're not sure. You know that Nell's Peak is a place where people go and have holiday and go skiing.
Oh,
Well, at least that's what you've been told.
That is still within the safety
Yes,
bubble of
it's within
iceberg,
the
right?
safety
Yeah.
bubble. You can see the safety bubble, right?
Yeah, can it's like teal
Light blue.
color blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah.
one.
Wait, sorry. Okay. We got some evidence that there's a tower near Goldfield because of people getting sick and stuff, right?
Um, your information actually tells you the illnesses is not
Oh,
not tower related. It's a different thing.
then did we make a mistake about there being a tower near this area?
Is based on what they said about what Minu found or something like that.
Well,
Someone in the
Minu did
okay.
hear about a tower, and they're going to investigate right now. Well, Minu
So
is.
for the last message that I heard back from them
Okay.
is that someone in the mountains who knows about the spires, but no code name yet.
Okay, we'll find Team B and get more information. Okay, let's go. Any other questions for Guy?
I have one,
Mm-hmm.
which is once again unrelated to the other things, but I will pull um, a little mannequin doll out of my pack. I'm gonna hand it to Guy and say, "This is the matriarch. What do you make of it?"
He he looks at it and he picks it up like it's disgusting, like a wet sock, and he's just holding it with two fingers. And he goes, "This is a thing of magic. If you poke it, does she
Is it
feel?
magical?
No.
I mean, technically, it's voodoo. How did you come across this?
Wait, does it actually like work? Work? Because I don't think it does.
I don't know. I've heard that there are belief systems that you can
Uh huh.
put magic into it and make it work. Although, with her wards, I don't think it would. Very strange. And then he tries to open the helmet and it doesn't move.
Mhm.
Shame. I wanted to see a face.
Mm,
Where did you find
I
this?
think. Um, an interesting person gave it to me.
I'm wondering now if she has her own little collection of action figures.
Wonder if there's one of you.
But which one of me? He strokes an imaginary beard.
Question. Perhaps the real one.
Heavens forbid. Nobody should know that aspect of me. Plus, I look positively ghastly. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nah, take it back.
How about Zekan and Boss? Have anything for him?
Nope, nothing else.
Questions for him.
Okay, and Speaker is one last thing for him. In which case, Speaker will look inside himself and see if Granny Fan wants to have a word with him. This is voluntary.
Ooh. You go into yourself and you call out to her, and she replies, "Yes."
There's this interesting fellow who has been around for a while since the barrier went up, and he's an eccentric sort. Would you be interested in chatting with him? And Speaker will describe Guy a bit. Well, Guy a lot. Describe him a lot.
Does Van trust him?
Speaker will look at Ven.
She's looking at a tea set on the mantelpiece, distracted.
Alright, he will go over to Ven's side and he'll right. Speaker will go over to Ven's side and ask her like if this is someone that an old lady would be interested. That would be good to speak to an old lady. Like put it that way to Van.
Well, I don't think she'll be particularly interested in speaking with him, but he is interesting. Grandmama, are you there? Granny? And then you hear the voice inside your head go, I don't particularly feel like speaking to this person, but I'm glad you have found some kind of ally.
Understood. I'll continue looking. Thank you.
You feel her nod and fade.
Alright, that's all from me. Thanks.
Now, you're going somewhere. He looks at all
Right.
of you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
How are you
I
getting
do.
there? Do you need a caravan? I can charter something for you.
I want to ask something to Gunlog.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, to the entire group, the party as well. So, do we want to go to Goldfield or do you want to go to Group B?
We can go to wherever your wizard friend is.
Group B is in
Oh,
Goldfield.
yeah, I don't know if they have left yet because I
We
know that
obviously go to your people because it means that area is safe.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Whisper wanted to move, so I'm not sure if they
Yeah,
move
yeah.
already.
Even if they move
They're not gonna be out of
like
Goldfield
half a day away, I
anytime
think
Yeah,
that's
soon.
fine.
right. Okay, so in that case, because I already used my sending stone, I want to ask Gunlock if she has spell slots left to do ascending.
Mhm.
Okay,
Well, I can try.
right. I believe you already met this person, so it
Yes,
wouldn't be
many
that
times.
difficult.
It's
Yeah,
Whisper.
so
Okay.
yeah, it's Whisper,
Yeah.
the light, what you call it, the halfling, not Lightfoot, the halfling lady, the the mother of the
Mhm.
group. I think you know her. Just a short message. Tell her that I am coming through teleporting. I just need to see her. Do not resist the spell that's going
To
to.
not be in like public, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm
Mhm.
going. Yeah, tell her that I'm going to scry on her and teleport to her location, not be anywhere public.
Mhm.
Perhaps you should tell her that
I.
you
Give
need
her half
some
an hour or
time.
something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. How long do you think it will be the best? An hour? Hour seems like
An
a lot of
hour,
time.
half an hour. That seems reasonable.
All right.
I will relay that information. Do I need to like make up the scribe or the spell? Sorry, the sending.
Oh, the sending.
I'm
Well,
asking the DM. Can
Oh,
I
the
just
DM.
like relay that, or
Uh, I
like
I
write
think
it out?
I think Zekin is smart enough to give you what to say so that everything
Yeah.
he needs, every information that he needs, is compressed into 25 words in his
Teleporting
magical
to your
speech.
location in an hour. Find remote area.
Will
See you
scry.
soon. Like, yeah.
okay. So while within the hour of waiting, I'm just gonna uh attune to the teleportation stick because
Okay.
is it an hour, so I can do that, and also drop concentration on drop the what do you call that, attunement on the bow.
Okay. The reply you get back is translated by Zekin to mean, uh, ready in an hour, safe room.
Okay. All right. They are ready. Okay. Let's get.
Okay, so
What?
1 hour passes by. You are ready to travel. You've got your passports, and then you see a guy at the side, sitting on his couch, just observing this little thing happen.
How much do we get from our information from Guy?
You get. Why don't you roll me 10d10s?
10.
Ready then.
All right, here goes. 52.
Oh,
Perfectly average.
five
Not bad.
five
Not bad. Not bad.
platinums and 20 gold.
Not bad.
Pretty
You keep
decent.
it.
Pretty
Like
Not
decent.
bad, not bad.
Five
you keep
platinums and how much? 2 gold.
20
20.
gold.
20.
Well, 20 gold is 2 platinum.
Correct, but he gave
Yeah.
you 20 gold.
Okay.
It's like spare change. He ran out of the platinums. He's like, damn.
All right. We have.
Okay, so we'll be teleporting.
Believe I
Do
need
you
to
still need Frost with
scry.
you, or are we
Oh
okay
right.
to take you along?
Frost comes out of a room hearing her name. She's like, oh, is it time to go? And
Yes,
then
we'll have to fill you in on what's happened.
guy looks at her and he's like, of course, your job here is done. You may leave. You no longer need a home in this space, although I will miss your consistent badgering about how silly I do things. It's like having a daughter.
Man, I so wanted to like go back. Why don't conceive one?
Please don't give him even worse
Yeah,
idea.
that's why I
Go
try not to
conceive a
say it in.
daughter.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to say it in character. It's so
Changelings
hard
can
not
change
to say it.
gender, right?
But
Let's just say he
yeah.
doesn't
We want to respect
particularly
the law.
want to either impregnate or be impregnated.
Mm,
Okay.
understandable.
Okay. So right.
Always
So
adopt.
first thing I need to do is to scry them, right?
Yes.
Let
Yes,
me
Before
hit.
I
in an
teleport.
hour.
Yeah, we'll see
Wait
an
an
hour
hour.
passes by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Like you're
Also,
ready to
like
scry
Guy
and
has.
teleport.
Also, Guy has been here for as long as we have been. So,
So he might
if he
just
wanted,
dust.
no, no, as in like if he were inclined to have children, like half of Falsen would be like under him by this point if he had started.
You're disgusting. It's like, oh, Fulton is actually just full
Ah,
of my
my descendants.
progeny.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
my child. I mean, not my child. That's my grandchild and my great great grandchild and my great 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 great.
Yes. Yes.
yeah. Moving on.
Understood. We
Scry
get the
that.
picture. They're all actually you.
Since we don't have anything else to do, so we wait the time pass. Then I do
Okay.
the
Yeah.
scrying. I
Okay.
do
I'll
scrying on whisper.
Okay, she accepts the scrying. She does not fight it. Um, your eye travels through spaces really, really fast. It's just a blur, and then it suddenly stops, just very suddenly in front of her. She feels this, and then she feels the direction, and then she waves, and then she walks around the room. The room's big enough for all of you to sort of settle in without hitting anything wrong. She hopes. It's a very simple room. There's no chairs, there's no tables. Oh wait, there is. It seems that she's pushed all the furniture to one corner so that there's a big enough space for everybody else. The windows are closed, the curtains are shut, the door is steady and closed. And then she just makes a circuit over and over again until you're sure. At some point, she focuses herself onto a spot on the floor that she has drawn an X on, if it helps.
So I'll take in the space. Like after she goes around twice, I note take in everything before I get out of scrying.
Okay, you have the
So
information. I don't need to ask you to make any rolls because you took your time understanding what the space looked like. Now you have to teleport.
right. So I believe we do need to be together, hold hands and whatnot.
Before teleporting, can we have some protection from evil and good up?
Sure can do. No, cannot do.
It's like can or cannot.
Nope,
Not
I lied.
today.
Do you have anything that's a good substitute against being taken over forcefully?
Mm, I can detect it. I can
That will help. That will
dispel
help. Yes, yes.
magic,
Do you still have a first level spell left?
I think what
and
we
I
can
can
do
enhance
is
people's abilities.
you can
Potent
okay, so enhance your own
restoration.
ability and then tie me up.
Hmm.
That's fair.
Because no matter what, they still have to use our body, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And if we're tied up, we can't run away.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
in
you're a news.
They don't know that.
they don't know that.
That's your point. Yeah, I can dispel magic. I can enhance abilities. I can hold person. We can lesser or non-lesser restoration.
Yeah, so we
Probably
can
Greater is
we
what that
have
is called.
means of fixing it after it's done because we don't have means
Yeah,
of protecting against it, except for
yeah.
maybe enhance ability, charisma maybe or wisdom. Wait, does that help with saves? Might not even help with saves.
the
Bless
no, it's not
perhaps.
safe, right? Yeah,
there's
bless is
there's
the
no
one
save.
that help with safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless
I can
perhaps.
definitely bless. We do have bless paired.
Yeah, bless will help.
Put
Bless
it
is
on
good.
the two of you guys
Um,
if you don't
Sanctuary
have
won't
money.
help you. Silvery
No,
barbs. What does that do again?
it's
Nah,
a reroll.
that's not
That's
a
a
buff.
reroll. That's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
reroll.
Yeah, bless is
So
what
blessing,
we need
so
probably.
blessing is the
Well, the
only.
closest
yeah.
thing we have besides protection from evil and good.
I
If it
can
goes bad, it goes
detect it.
bad. We figure it out, right?
Okay.
We know roughly now what we'll have to do if it goes bad.
Guy's just watching you at this point, discussing like tie you up, don't tie you up, what magic. He conveniently doesn't have anything that you can use.
Yeah.
Convenient to him, not convenient to anyone else.
We are adventurous. We have
Well,
rope.
Speaker has rope, so he will tie up both of them.
Yep.
Also, would we have had a short rest?
Yes,
We do
Yes.
you
in the
had a
cart.
short rest in the cart, in the carriage.
Yeah.
Okay. Mang resources back.
Warlock resources back, hooray!
Hooray.
Actually, let me roll two hit dice, just cause I'm hurt. One,
They hurt
two,
him.
All that force
How could
bombs.
they?
13. What is this number plus 13? I should be fine. Yeah, that should be enough.
You think that your team will think we've gone evil again if they see us tied up? Probably, right?
Probably, but I don't think they have any means to even take you down if they even try.
Well,
But I'm here. I'm not being tied up, so probably would be still fine to them.
Anyway, it's 11:06. I'm gonna
Yeah.
head
Okay.
off.
So you guys tied up. I'll just do the teleport lah.
Okay,
I want to be there before.
roll me a D100. I will say you've seen casually
yes.
this place,
We teleport first, and then
and
Oh
then we go
no.
off.
Yes.
What roll? D100.
Let's see. That's
Oh,
93.
oh my
95.
God! Yeah, nothing happens. You appear at the right place at the right time. In front of the door is Whisper, and she doesn't even flinch. You appear,
Phew.
and we will stop there for today. Thank you
All
for
right.
We
playing.
we
You're
appear.
like,
We're normal.
thank
We didn't get. We
Yeah,
didn't
We
get.
didn't get
everything
mangled.
seems fine. Like you're still tied up. You're
Dope.
not
Dope.
in a like space maze. You're sitting in the dark because nobody decided to turn on any lights in this place. And Whisper has her
That's
thumbs
still
up.
fine. That's still fine.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Clandestine meetup confirmed. You are in Goldfield. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue
Wahoo!
next
we
next
appear.
week.
We bye.
Bye.
We
Bye.
appear. We appear competent to team B